Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of the day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen. Anyways, what's up? Just a casual stream today. Just one game, that's all. It's a Monday. Duh, of course. Excuse me, hang on a second. Something's missing. There we go. Microphone. And I think that's that. Mondays. Hey Ratchet, what's up? It's finally approaching within only X amount of hours. Or at least by the time this banner is expired. Plus maintenance. 5-hour maintenance. Genshin 6.0. Holy son of a duck, we made it this far. And to think that I was here 5 years ago. Or it's going to be 5 years ago by the time it's September 30th. 5 long years, our journey began by the shores. And it only seemed like yesterday this game was only 10 gigabytes worth. Now it's 100 and something. I think it's going to be 150 soon. Or maybe more than that. Yeah, can you believe that? 10 gigs. Meanwhile, Warzone was like 100 gigs and it's only one map for a Battle Royale game. But when you look at this pales in comparison. Well, okay, well, this is now 5 years later. Not gonna lie, back in the day when this game came out, it didn't occur to me that it was a gacha game. Even after when I saw the banners, I was like, so how do I get the characters? I did know about gacha games. I played a couple of them before this. But somehow it took me a while for me to realize what Genshin was. Or, you know, at the very least, how to get characters. I mean, to be fair, as you progress through the game, you do get at least 3 characters along the way. You get Amber, Kaya, and Lisa. And then the rest was just gotcha. But it took me a while, like I said, it took me a while to realize that. Literally my brain thought, okay, maybe if I encounter more characters along the way, they become unlockable, just like the others. Just like the starters. Until at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I see how you get characters. Painful grind. It wasn't too painful when this game only had like a few dozen characters. Oh yeah, only a few dozens. And then each update, each month, each passing month, they would just add in so many characters, one after another. And for a fair time, they did shower plentiful of 4-star characters. just a shame that that's not how it is today, or these past few years. Past few updates, there's been a lack of 4-star character variety. And even when there is a 4-star, it feels special, actually. Well, at the very least, the next banner tomorrow is gonna have a new 4-star. Not sure what her uniqueness is, but we'll soon find out. She is the 4-star character in question is the I assume creator of the maid here. Hold on a sec. What the heck do I have in my eye? Ah. Weird. Anyways. But the real star of the show, of course, has to be the new 5-star characters on the way. The first phase is gonna be a deer lady. Or some majestic lady with deer horns. And then in phase 2, we get a husbando, very gothic-like, carrying around a purple bluish lantern. So that's gonna be great. As you know how it is with Genshin or any gacha game, it's the waifus that sells. Unless it's Honkai. I mean, no, then again, no, sorry, scratch that, no. In Honkai's case, no man is welcome in the game. Honkai, whether it's Honkai Impact 3rd or Star Rail, the fans, die-hard Hoyoverse fans will be like, don't you dare ever bring a man into the game. The last male character, at least, made players feel like a final boss character. And after experiencing myself what people were talking about, I was like, oh, okay, I see. But that still didn't ignore the fact that, yeah, Honkai fans were like, F you! Don't bring a man in here. Back to the waifus. Let's make our monies speak louder than volume by not spending anything at all. But that's okay, the fangirls liked it, of course. Me, I'm just indifferent. It was just a skip for me. Simple as that. I had like no grudge. Anyways, yeah. I'm sure there will be plenty more husbandos down the road for Genshin at least. And one of them is the Grand Master Knight of Mondstadt. What's his name? Grandmaster Varka. He's not coming home, but he's staying. He's still on his expedition, and it's not Expedition 33. It's his own personal expedition. And apparently, I did wrap up the latest story. At the end of the story, we got a letter from the great Grandmaster. Basically, it's a tease. We're gonna be crossing paths with him, but he's also given us a warning that lately the Fatus are really scheming something, and that's not even the worst part. The Abyss Order are also in on the the not war, but you know, if you've been following the story of Genshin, you know, you still the Fatus are one thing, but the Abyss Order is another. Think of it like the Covenant War. You have, you know, the UNSC and the Covenant versus facing each other, but then who comes in between? The Flood. Put it that way. But that's, and yes, the Fatus do not like the Abyss Order. Or, if given a chance, they might try to abuse their army. Like, take control, or bribe them, or whatever. But, for the most part, no, nobody likes the Abyss Order. They're just as bad as the Flood. Everybody hates them. But apparently, your twin sibling has made an ordeal with them. So, that's a big wah wah for your traveler. Your brother or sister has plans and is leading the army of the Abyss Order. Whatever that plan is, well, we're bound to find out down the road after 6 point whatever. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna come. The Traveler's quest is gonna be intertwined with the Archon quest. What was initially a separate quest will soon become one. And then I guess all those missing posters really didn't matter because, hey, look, it's the Traveler's sibling. And what's that? He or she is evil? Working with the Abyss, leading the charge of the Abyss Order? Oh, jeez. And what's even worse, the Fatus got a factory. They're plotting something. They got warlike machines. Oh dear. Like literally dear, because the dear lady is probably gonna be our guidance. At least that's my guess. And speaking of, and the new region coming up seems to be multicultural, because from the latest story I played, it seems like a lot of people from various regions live there. It's not just one nation. It seems like everybody is kind of like there. That does explain why Dori has set up shop there. Probably trying to market the war that's about to approach. And on top of that, the Genosis is still in the hands of Mavica, the Pyro Archon. So, of course, the Fatus, the Harbingers, still need to do something about that. They still need to come knocking at her door. Either they're gonna ask politely, which is another word of saying, we're giving you a warning shot, or war. And we all know war is hell. You either she's gonna have to give away the Genosis, or she's gonna have to put her people in danger. So yeah, no pressure. I feel like at least that's my wildest guess as to what they're gonna do with the story, how it's going to evolve, or how it's going to develop, unfold. But don't worry, somewhere in between we'll probably get like a moment of rest, and we're gonna have like, you know, events where we're celebrating other regions' holidays. You know, like the Lantern Rite festival when we get to February. By that time, let's see. That would be 6 point. What is that? 6 point what? I can't count. Hang on. Let's see. 6.0 is September. Then October 1, November 2, 3. 6.5. Okay. At least that's my estimate. And speaking of updates, I've just now noticed that ZZZ is actually going to be dropping updates while still doing per month. But you may have noticed that the banners are now exactly 3 months longer. 3 months long, whereas Genshin. Actually, Genshin is kind of close to like 3 months. Now that I think about it. But then again, no, because in ZZZ's case, most of their banners will last like at least 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. Now it seems, because right now what I'm getting at is that it looks like Hoyoverse is trying to slow down the development time for ZZZ. So hence why both banners for Phase 1 and 2 will be at least 3 weeks long. Which sucks, because I did get the new character seed. And luckily I didn't have to spend too much polychrome, so I got lucky there. Which means I might have plenty enough at this point, to get the next new character, Orphe and Magnus. And no. It's actually they're one character. If you've seen what they look like, Magnus is actually Orphe's talking tail, also known as their commanding officer, I guess. Yes, a talking tail as their sort of CO of Obel Squad. So yeah, if you ever wonder why ZZZ might take why their banners take long, there you go. But at the very least, that should give players some time, especially new players, to get duplicates for who's running now for the A ranks, Nicole and Ambi. If you haven't gotten their Mindscape Cinemas at 6 yet, M6. Well, now would be a good time as ever, if you have enough, that is. Bert! As for me and Honkai. Well, I got the new characters, but just barely made it. I didn't have enough no, sorry, in that game, what's it called? Stellar Jades. I was just rolling for like one pull at a time. Until eventually I was like, oh, okay, got the 5-star, yay. And I haven't, and it's phase 2, and I haven't even started the latest story in that game either. But even if I did, I'm just skipping every cutscene, because at that point, I really don't give a flying fudge about a Honkai story. They need to already start moving on to the next planet, because, oh, it's a snooze fest. Thank God they have a skip cutscene button. I mean, hey, even the devs admitted that they pretty much flopped the story. I mean, it still makes sense when you follow it, but I mean, like in terms of structure, and they admitted that they pretty much did not lay it out properly to make it make sense. But yeah, I'm just ready to move on to the next planet. I don't give a flying fudge. At this point, it's just Genshin and ZZZ where their stories are pretty much straightforward. Anyhow, I got Silksong. Played. I think my playtime now is at around 8 hours. And for the record, I have never played Hollow Knight. But you don't need to. Unless you're very familiar, and when you're pretty much familiar with the Metroidvania style of games, then yeah, you know what you're getting yourself into. And yes, after spending plenty of hours with that game, I can confidently say, yes, it is definitely worth the $20 game. Or at least in Canada, it would be 30. Well, 20 or 30. I know it depends on each region of country. But after spending plenty of hours in that game, you know, not only did I enjoy it, but I wish that I could throw in a little extra $5 to the devs, because Team Cherry really, as the kids say, they really cooked. Cause yeah, I'm having fun with it. I wouldn't call it a complaint, but right now I'm pretty much like going to places here and there, feeling a little directionalist. But like any other Metroidvania games, if there's an area that you can't reach, then you know you can pretty much tell. In Metroidvania style, that means you need to have a certain ability to get there. So, you know, pretty standard stuff. But I kind of wish that there was like somewhat of a linear direction, especially in case you need a refresher or where you got to go next. Otherwise, I would just be doing side quests or going to areas with any upgrades that I unlocked, new abilities. You know, to kind of like retrace my steps. Some folks have already finished it, of course, on day one. Going as far as almost 12 hours in length. Yeah, I imagine those 12 hours were just people who didn't bother like searching too much. You know, not like 100%ing the game. I'm not aiming for that, because I do know, one thing I do know about Hollow Knight, and I think it might apply to Silksong as well. There's probably like multiple endings. And, you know, that being said, yeah, I imagine speedrunners could just, or first-timers just want to blaze through the game. And then I'm assuming there could be a new game plus. I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, it is a brilliant game. I can see why it was considered the most anticipated game in many years. Not just one. And to think that game was only made by 3 people. Yeah, 3. At least that's what the sources tell me. Which is kind of crazy to think about. In fact, because of the massive success of Silksong, Which, by the way, I did a quick Google search, and apparently the game has I mean, based on a variety of sources, but the game has officially sold, as of today, 15 million copies. And yes, Team Cherry, I imagine there wasn't really a specific number other than maybe 2 million, but I guess 15 is clearly way above what they were expecting. And then there's already some articles out there saying why it took them so many years to finally get it out. Haven't read that yet. And then, of course, when there comes success, there's always going to be some people who are complaining about it. And you know who's complaining about it? Well, it's not the gamers. Unless you're one of those people who just can't stand Souls-like games in 2D platformers. Well, no. The whiners and the beggars are the game devs. Yeah, apparently I heard from the grapevine, some game devs out there, I don't know who, are actually attacking Team Cherry for their success of Silksong, complaining that the game should not be $20. They're complaining about that. They're complaining by the fact that why is Silksong being sold for $20? It should be 40. It should be 50. And the strongest argument that these other game devs that hate Silksong is that they're worried that us consumers will what's the word? There was a wording I'm thinking of. Basically, how do I put it in my word? In my words, I would say, at least based on my assumption, this is just an assumption here. I think the reason why game devs are complaining about Silksong being only $20 is because, first of all, us gamers love it. It was the most anticipated game, you know, it's very high quality, very high polished. But all that for $20, I'd say that's a good deal. But to the game devs out there, it's not just an argument, it's a concern. Because they think $20 for a high quality game doesn't match up. They think something like Call of Duty, or put AAA games, for example, Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, Activision's Call of Duty. They think their games at their price, $100, by the way, is justifiable based on their quality. Well, if you know better than I do, last I checked, Assassin's Creed Shadows was really shite. And they spent millions of dollars, 200 plus employees, and for what? A game that got the Japanese government and Prime Minister pissed. Also, Ubisoft doesn't even bother telling their own investors how much the game sold. And look at Black Ops 7. There's really not that many people pre-ordering the game because they feel ripped off. But basically the point is, they think $100 for a AAA game is better than an indie game at $20. And that if they were the ones distributing Silksong, they would have charged it for $50 and justify that. Basically, yeah, they're scared. Or in short, I should say, they're scared. They're scared that we will betray them. Technically, we already been doing that. And they still don't get it. They still don't understand why Baldur's Gate 3 was so good. They don't understand why Expedition 33 is good. And now they're even more baffled and confused as to why They're more baffled by the fact that Silksong is doing so well, and why are people buying that and not pre-ordering Call of Duty? Oh, trust me. By the time you get a chance to play Silksong, you'll understand. Or if you play what was it, Expedition 33, the answer should be quite straightforward right there. You already got your answer. A good quality game that's well designed, well polished, and having what's the word? Putting gamers first, understanding your audience, and then there you go, bang, you got yourself a successful game that people will definitely love. I mean, yeah, again, Silksong being labeled as the most anticipated game for multiple years, and now when it's finally in our hands, was it really worth the wait? Yes. And what's funny is that it was never under my radar. I never even played Hollow Knights. But I only heard how great it is. And that game, you can get it for only like $15 or less. And I bet you, if you never played Hollow Knight like I did, if you decided to go out and pick it up right now, I bet you're going to love it more than any other game coming out today. Except for Sonic Racing Cross World. At least we do know that game is going to be really good. In fact, Sega announced that there's going to be another free demo in the middle of September for Sonic Racing. Yeah, not a open beta test. It's like they just called it a free demo. So I'm guessing it's like one of those normal demos or some sort. Where I guess you don't need internet. I mean, you probably still need it for online, assuming that it's going to be implemented. But yeah, Sega's going to have another demo for Sonic Racing. I saw their YouTube post. Well, yeah, again, they only said mid-September. They didn't give out an exact date, as far as I know. But I'm down for it. I miss the open beta. I like it so much. Me too. Oh, speaking of which, I did try out the festival. Honestly, I wasn't a fan of it. No, I didn't hate it. It was just, I can see what they were going for, or how the full game is going to implement those limited time events. Because personally, I was after like 5 races of the festive thing, I was like, nah, I just want to go back to regular online racing. But unfortunately, that option wasn't available. But hey, at least Joker was unlocked. And honestly, I was a little disappointed, sarcastically. I'm saying that sarcastically. I was expecting a lot of people to play as Joker, but I guess, yeah, not that many, surprisingly. Well, don't worry, things will get better. I assure you, by the time the full game comes out, SpongeBob is going to be #1 pick. But yeah, for real. At least that game, at least Sonic Racing Cross World, is one AAA game that isn't going to let you down. In fact, yeah, if you want more confidence and clarity, the game itself during the open beta, at least according to Steam, had really, really good high player counts. A lot of number of active players. And because after the open beta was finished, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, people on YouTube was now, sharing their thoughts and opinions. And they even dare to make comparisons to Mario Kart World. And you know what? After seeing 2 videos about that topic, yeah, I'd say Nintendo made a big oopsies with with Mario Kart World. It's the case of Mario Kart World could walk, just so that Sonic Racing Crossroads can go at Sonic Boom speed, because holy shit, yeah. Nintendo made a big mistake. I mean, can you blame them? They try to be innovative with the Mario Kart series. And yeah, 24 racers, intermission courses, and doing trick stunts over and over. But was it really something that people wanted? Because clearly Sonic Racing Crossworld was just your traditional racing game. There was no open world exploration. Which, by the way, no, I'm not like hammering down and saying that the open world, the free roam in Mario Kart World is bad. No. First of all, I can't make my opinion on that because I haven't played the game. I'm just echoing what's been said on the internet. So, you don't need to take it for granted. Anyways, yeah, so the open world, again, that was something that Nintendo, the masters of innovation, was attempting to do, to shake up the formula of Mario Kart, add some new flair. But Sonic Racing Crossworld, they didn't need to do anything crazy or anything innovative. They just simply made a racing game, go around 3 laps, but in between each lap, you get to, the leading racer gets to choose a world that they can cross over. Haha. And not only that, they brought back they brought back planes and boats and the hoverboard. And of course, let's not forget about the abundance of guest characters that are going to show up. Meanwhile, Nintendo's, I think I remember seeing an article, Nintendo said they're not planning to throw in any guest characters. But I'm pretty sure by now they're going to change their mind by the time Sonic Racing comes out. Or maybe they already have when they saw Hatsune Miku and SpongeBob just showing up. And, once again, another oopsies by Nintendo's case. But yeah, and yeah, Sonic Racing didn't need to have like 24 racers. Just your traditional 12. And yeah, it works. Not to say that 24 racers in Mario Kart wouldn't work. No, it worked. It's crazy. It's crazy fun. But people kind of have mixed opinions at this point, especially when you're. I've seen like where the complaints are coming from. Those intermission courses where you're just driving in a straight line. And yeah, with 24 racers, it can get very chaotic because think about how many green shells, red shells, explosives are flying while you're driving in a straight road. Chances are you could end up you could be at first place, and then suddenly, because of a straight road and the chaos, you could end up in 20th place. Imagine that in Knockout Tour. Of course, yeah, people have complained about that. Anyways, yeah, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, again, they didn't need to do anything crazy. They knew what they were doing. And yeah, I'm still surprised that Sumo Digital is not the one making it, but rather Sonic Team is. But still, the credit has to be given out to Sumo Digital, since they were the ones who pretty much started the Sonic Racing games. Or well, not all of it. I mean, like, since All-Star Racing first came out. And then, yeah, Transformed was like the peak Sonic Racing game. Team Sonic Racing was a downgrade. It worked in some cases with the team formula, but it was this, bare minimum. So here, it's like, yeah, Sega decided to take back what was popular and add in some extra flair to wow the audience. And like I said, it worked. It works so well that, yeah, people are now comparing it to Mario Kart World and saying that Sonic Racing is definitely going to be the better racing game. And you know what? I'm all for it. Oh, and not to mention, since that's like what there is, of course, one, and I'm not saying that this is like an advantage for Sonic Racing, but yeah, the game is multi-platform with crossplay. Excuse me. Well, obviously that that's an unfair advantage considering that Mario Kart is a Nintendo property. Sonic is third party. And see, that's one of the benefits of third party. You're not tied to any company. You don't need to have somebody breathing down your neck like how Sony does with Bungie or Microsoft with Blizzard. Sega could do whatever the heck they want. They're third party. But yeah, having cross-play is one of the key things that needed to happen. 100%. So that nobody gets left behind. I mean, literally, you have Switch 2 players, PC players, Xbox, PlayStation players, all racing together. That's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, kudos to Sega and Sonic Team. And once again to Sumo Digital. They're gonna wing it. I guarantee you, Jeff Keighley's gonna have the envelope and the nominees and the trophy, best party game, racing game, sports game. It's all gonna go to Sonic Racing. Best family game, Sonic Racing. Best sports game, Sonic Racing. Best multiplayer game. Well, somebody's gonna rig that and say Black Ops 7 over Battlefield. I swear, if that happens, then we can easily say it's rigged. And some Call of Duty fanboys are just, trying to sabotage Battlefield's success. But we all know the real truth. Battlefield 6 is, the better game between Call of Duty. Speaking of Battlefield 6, yeah, Battlefield 6 is already facing its troubles right now. Some folks during the open testing, some folks have found some nasty exploits, and the DICE and Battlefield Studios were quick to act, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna nerf this, we're gonna nerf that. We're also gonna strengthen our anti-cheating system." And yeah, Battlefield players, streamers were complaining about all that. All the exploits are gonna be toned down, nerfed. And yeah. Cheaters be angry. Very, very angry. And imagine the mods on the PC, what people will make. Oh boy. Are we going to see Sanic and Mephiles? Or what's his name? Infinite? Or God forbid, Uganda Knuckles. Somebody's gonna find an excuse to bring back that abomination. And how fitting, because what does the Uganda Knuckles say? Do you know the way? Oh, don't worry, for a racing game, it's this way. The game will tell you it's this way. Or if you're in first place, yeah, let's go to this world. This is the way. But for real, I'm sure they're going to throw in some very interesting mods. What else? What else? Yes. Silent Hill F is facing yet a silly controversy. It's about how the game is all about feminism, which is why people are now joking that the F stands for feminism. Okay. I mean, even the director, even the developers had like a Q&A, but the problem is the ones that were doing Q&A interviews with Konami were a bunch of journalists from IGN, Kotaku, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna take their wording for it. Even if it's true, I don't know. Throughout the game and the gameplay footages, the trailers, I didn't see anything about it being all feminism. And you know what? Once again, I don't give a shite. But the one thing I will give a shite is the price. Because just like Metal Gear Solid 3, it's gonna be $100. So I changed my mind. Instead of buying that game day one, I want to see how well it performs. At the very least, though, speaking of performs, the frame rate and such is fine. So at least there's that confidence. There's that confidence and confirmation that at least even on regular PS5, not Pro, the game will run at a stable frame rate. So that's good. Well, hey, even if somehow Silent Hill F doesn't do good, at least we got Team Bloober. Assuming that they can keep up the steam, they still do have. They're still. I mean, not still. They are working on the remaking the first game. And if Silent Hill 2 has anything to go by, I have full confidence. Well, okay, maybe full is a bit too generous. Still gotta see. We all gotta see actual gameplay footages and, you know, trailers just to see whether or not Team Bloober can keep up with the steam rolling. It's kind of like when game developers have to make a sequel to a video game, and it's like, you know, how do you you know, what's the word? You know, how do you improve over your last game? It's a very tough challenge, you know, if you kind of think about it. Whether it be movies, video games, making a sequel is no easy task. You gotta surpass the successor. Anywho, what else? Yes, there was the Marvel ToeCon closed beta. Still no Spider-Man or Ghost Rider, unfortunately. So I'm assuming that the build that they were using for the closed beta was the one that they brought in from the EVO. with online lobbies, of course, and offline training mode. Would have loved to get my hands on that too, but no invite. Oh well, that's fine. I guess I'll wait until the inevitable. Well, that's my hope that there's gonna be an inevitable open beta. I mean, Arc System Work has done that before in the past. They do close betas, and then eventually they'll do open. And when that time, should that time come, I will be ready. And so will thousands of other players as well. It's gonna crash servers for sure. And speaking of crashing, I totally also forgot to point out that regarding Silksong, maybe you might have heard of it. When the game officially came out, Silksong alone crashed every digital storefront. I wasn't there to witness it. I didn't bought the game day one. I kind of like waited it out, and I'm glad I did because holy shite. Yeah, apparently according to Steam users, Steam had crashed and took a couple of hours to repair itself. Valve had to work overtime to get their own storefront working because of one game. Not sure how that fared with all the other digital stores, like the Microsoft Store and the PlayStation Store or the eShop. But once again, that's strong evidence that yeah, really, Silksong anticipated game of the year, and once again, AAA games wish their games could have such a triumph like that. Tokyo Game Show's in October. Is it in October? I could have sworn it was in September. Maybe it is in October. Maybe I read the not remembering the actual date right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, the Tokyo Game Show for sure. Arc System Work, and dozens of other Japanese devs are gonna show off their latest games that they already had revealed. It is October. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. Something else was happening in September. Speaking of which, some people were like throwing shades and being like, Nintendo Direct, it's gonna happen. It's the fall season. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Nintendo should have a Direct. Like, if they have a Direct planned, then it would be, without a shadow of a doubt, I think it would be at least launched, it would broadcast before Tokyo Game Show. Did you listen to the Pokemon character themes? Yeah, I could barely, I barely could, because you know how most streamers, lower the volume. I could barely hear it, but when I was able to, yeah, it's a killer. Like, of course, we already know Arc System Work has like one of the best fighting game musics, but dang, they really try. They're really showing off there. They're really showing it off to Capcom. Well, then again, to be fair, you know, a fighting game needs to have really good music, first and foremost. Man got the Guilty Gear theme. Of course he does. And if that's good, if that's if that's like a taste of the music for the game, just imagine future characters and their themes, or the final boss, whatever, or the final boss of arcade mode, whoever it may be. Or chances are there's gonna be a lyrical theme, opening theme with lyrics to the game. And since, you know, it is Arc System Works. Okay, yeah, no, wait, scratch that. I was gonna say it's gonna have like Japanese lyrics, but then I was like, wait, no, hang on a second. Guilty Gear didn't have the theme song for Guilty Gear Strive wasn't an all straight Japanese. It was a Japanese band, I think, but the lyrics was straight up all English. Like, what was it? Smell of the Game? Yeah. Oh boy, get ready for what Marvel Tokon will then sound like. They got the King of Fighters. Oh, that's where the announcers... Why the announcers sounded so familiar. They know what they're doing, alright. Some folks are still kind of like on the fence. But about Marvel Tokon saying that it was a different game than what they had expected. But see, once again, that's another case of you should have had your expectations checked before and after playing a game. For the most part, though, some people were just, you know, expecting, you know, since it was a tag team fighting game, they were expecting something that's akin to, you know, MVC. I mean, yeah, to be fair, that was my thought too. I think that was a lot of people. That's what a lot of people had thought when Marvel Tokon was revealed. But at the end of the day, people need to realize that was never Arc System Works like personal intent. All they were doing was making a tag team fighting game with Marvel characters and just making the game how they wanted to make. Oh, sorry. Just make the game how they wanted it, how they envisioned it. Not compare it to MVC3 and be like, yeah, the Marvel Tokon's based off of MVC. And I'm sure by now you all can already agree to that. It's not even rocket science. You put those two games side by side and you obviously you can tell you can say with a straight face they are not the same. And it was never, once again, it was never their intent whatsoever. So, people should have really watch out for their expectations next time. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to be pointing and blaming the wrong people for the wrong reason. For me, like I said, initially I thought it was going to be a tag team fighting game like MVC. But once I saw the gameplay, I was like, oh, I'm fine with this. I don't see what the big problem is. Like, really? Is this what you folks are gonna complain about? Ah, right. I think there's something I need to address. Something, not something about Genshin. So, and I think you may have already heard about this, but I'm just gonna say it as like a reminder, and this is more or less kind of like a big deal. So much so that people are having like split opinions about it. But I think it's more not really 50-50. It's more like people are more leaning towards going against this change or addition, I should call it. So, let me just. You know what? No, I'm gonna go to my pot and discuss about this issue that is about to arise tomorrow. Let me just. Oh, hello. My two maids have come to greet me. Well, at least Noelle got the right dialogue. Hang on a second. Oh, no. Oh, because it's this is online only when you're here. Ha. How come she doesn't say anything? Oh, there we go. Anyways. Hey, hang on a second. Where is she? When did I put you here? No. Wait. Hang on a second. Didn't I? What is this order? Oh no. What? Okay, hang on a second. Oh, of course. Only a rank 9? Well, okay, fine. Just for now. Hang on. I just want to bring in my wonderful partner. Save, leave, hold circle to leave. My waifu, Layla. Can I sit on this? Oh, I can. Anyway, so. So. This was obviously the new thing that's going to be added was revealed during the Genshin special program a couple of weeks ago. So you know how recently all the characters have been stuck at level 90, and if you're at what is it, adventure rank 60, yeah, and your world level by that point should be 9. And when it's at 9, enemies are usually above level 80, 90. And of course, you saw earlier, some enemies are also at level 100. Well, after 5 long years, you can finally level up your character to 100. Yes, they finally did it. You can finally cap out at 100. However, of course, there is a big however. Starting off with the good news, the bitter good news. The Traveler is definitely going to be what I'm gonna assume could be your first level 100 character. Maybe. But there's something in between, but I'll get to that later. Or you'll see how that the Traveler may not be your first level 100 character. But yeah, assuming that your first level 100 character will be the Traveler, how do you conduct that? Well, there's going to be a new item later on tomorrow in the game that's called what's it called again? The Stella Fortuna. It's a three word item name. Something Stella Fortuna. So you need that in order to level up, to increase the level capacity of a character. So, and apparently you need two, because by applying only one, the level cap only goes up to 95. But if you have two to spare, then yeah, you can just slap it on to a character and they go from 90 to 100. Sounds great, right? Yeah, of course. But then how do you get these Stella Fortunas, you may ask? Well, this comes with a price. Like literally a price. So, going back to the Traveler, how will the game let the Traveler be at level 100? Well, if you remember, if you've been doing all the story stuff and doing all the story stuff, you may have noticed that you've been getting passively. The Traveler's constellation is always at full, right? Right. Of course, yes. When you enter, for new players, when you enter new regions, the traveler learns a new element, a new skill, new burst, right? Which then resets the constellation because it's a different play style. But let's say you finish Inazuma, right? By now, you completed Inazuma. Your Traveler has all 6 constellations filled, right? Okay. Once all the constellations are filled, you can get a Stella Fortuna. Because the game knows, okay, your character is at full constellation. Good. So here's a Stella Fortuna so that you can use it on any character. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be just the Traveler. It can be any character. But just a few seconds ago, if you remember, I just said the character's constellation has to be full. So let me draw out the biggest issue, the biggest problem. Aside of the Traveler, how do you get a Stella Fortuna? Like, just by default? Or what is going to be the normal way? Let's put Jean as an example. And because right as of now, only a certain number of characters, and all of which are 5-star characters, are gonna have their level caps be at sorry, how do I worded it? They're gonna be selective as characters you can put up to level 100. So I'll take back what I said. Not all the characters, right? As of now, as of tomorrow, when the update goes live, certain number of characters will have their level caps be able to be increased to level 100. But down the road, yes, the rest will eventually get theirs as well. As of now, or from the special program, they didn't say any 4-stars will have that. So for now, I guess they're just going to be stuck at 90. But I do know Jean is among the characters in which you can level up to 100. So, how do you get the Stella Fortuna? What's going to be the so-called normalized way to getting it? Well, first off, you have to get the character's constellation at C6. And then, when you go to the banner, so in this case, Jean, or it could also, you could get Jean also from the limited time banners, like if you lost your 50-50. I mean, chances are you might get Chi-Chi, but let's put, again, we'll stick to Jean as an example. So, your Jean has full constellation. If you get another Jean, you get yourself a Stella Fortuna. Because, in a way, because the game now knows, oh, what's this? Your Jean is at C6, and you got a duplicate? Okay. Here's a Stella Fortuna then. Now, one thing I don't know is if you get a duplicate of that character. I don't know if the Stella Fortuna is locked behind that character, or it's just an item that you just gain. Similar to like getting star glitters. Like, you know, when you get a duplicate 4-star, 5-star character, you get like the star glitter. Well, you still get that, but now there's going to be the extra mile, another good reason why people would want to get their 5 stars to be at C6. And there's a good reason. Now they're pushing players to give them a good reason to pull these reruns. Where some folks like me, we just focus on getting the newer characters because we already got the reruns. And, you know, we would believe that, oh, you know, C0 is fine. They're pretty strong as they are. But yes, of course, as you already know, when you get their dupes, you get their constellations unlocked, which makes them even more stronger than more than they already are. But now with the Stella Fortuna, now basically Hoyoverse has given you a reason to gotcha the reruns, just so you could get your character or that character in question in the rerun to be at C6. Because once they're at C6, once you get another duplicate of that character on that rerun, you get a Stella Fortuna. And then you use that to increase the level cap from 90 to 95. And if you have another duplicate, you get another Stella Fortuna, so you can go from 95 to 100. So you see where the problem is? Why people are actually against it? It's Hoyoverse saying, spend more. But it is still optional. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing why I believe I want to call this the copium, the workaround here. Getting your character to 100 is optional. Because they didn't say they're going to they're going to increase the adventure rank. They didn't say enemies are going to be level 110 or whatever. They'll still remain the same. They'll still be at 90s and 100s. It's just that now you have a convenience if you want to just get your character to level up to 100. Just to even out the planes. Because again, you'll see bosses at level 100. Especially at the Spiral Abyss where the maximum is like 105. But here's the thing. It's like I said, it's doable because as of now, think about it. There's already tons of YouTube videos out there of people really one-shotting bosses even when they're at level 105. So it's like that level 100 is just optional. It's just the extra mile if you want to pick and choose your favorites and, make them stronger for your convenience or just for, well, I can't say just for fun because it's permanent. At the very least, though, like I said, the Traveler more or less is going to be the first. Or if not, like let's say the upcoming banner with the new characters coming out tomorrow, I get Jean. And if that happens, okay, good, I guess, because that means that Jean will be my first character to be at 95. I would feel good about it, but hey, but at the same time, it's like I lost my 50-50 to Jean, but okay, I'll just keep gotchaing for the newer characters. And speaking of which, yes, that does draw another problem, which I think it's already another obvious take. It's like you want to aim for the newer characters as they come out every month. But now with the rerun and with the new additional for Stella Fortuna, well, now now what are you going to do? It's like like you have a choice now. Unless you're willing to throw in $1,000 like all those whale players, you could go for both, I guess. But then here's another problem. Well, unless you're a whale player, which I'm not. When the newer characters come out, you know what that means? Okay, I got said new character. I got said new character. Now I need to keep rolling, get those dupes. And that's like one thing I should say in a nutshell. The whole Stella Fortuna thing is just catering to whale players. And I assure you, considering that Genshin has been out for 5 years, I assure you, players most likely, some whale players most likely have most of their 5 stars at full C6. And they're already getting ready to throw in more dupes just to get their hands on the Stella Fortuna and get their characters to level 100. Now, don't be disheartened and feel like you're going to be left behind. No, like I said, and again, this is a copium take. It's optional. You don't really need to go out of your way to make your characters even stronger. Unless they're already stronger to begin with, because, first of all, you have to level up the talents. Then you have to give them the dedicated weapon, whether it's hell, even a 4-star weapon could be better than a 5-star. And then, of course, there's the completely RNG artifacts, where some artifacts could be just meh, and then you have others that could be great, where your crit damage is at 33. It's not a skill issue. It's just RNG. So don't feel bad about that. Blame the game. Blame the game when the artifact that you're hunting for doesn't give you the right side substats. But not only that, as you level up, a substat will just randomly level up. It's not always the same. And yeah, technically whale players play a role on the artifacts. How? Well, remember how there's like 2 methods on regenerating your resins. You have the fragile resin item thing. You can use this or this to give yourself 60 resins. Or you could spend a couple of primo gems to refill, but it's totally not worth it. It's hard to get materials every day. Tell me about it. Somehow, even after 5 years, the Genshin team refuses to make gathering materials easy, convenient, whereas other games, I think since you play ZZZ, Ratchet, I think you can easily say that ZZZ has a somewhat easier way to grind for materials. I mean, for me, yeah, I would say so. I would definitely agree. Heck, Honkai as well has like a better grinding material system than Genshin. More or less. No, actually, now kind of when I kind of like thoroughly think about that. So yeah, that is gonna be a new feature. And once again, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're falling behind. If you can already handle enemies and bosses, even at level 100, then you don't need to. The artifacts places on the map for which characters. Yeah. At least, no, there is a somewhat convenient way you can track down what artifact, or where to find the artifact for those specific characters' needs. So whenever you go to, say, go to the artifact page, when you select the artifact recommendations, click R3, and then it'll show you where to obtain it. Can't select it. Why can't I select it? Is it because of this? Hang on. Let me try to go outside. Like, out. Yeah, I know in ZZZ and Honkai, when you do exactly like that, the opening up the character menu, and when you highlight the artifact, it actually pinpoints exactly where you can find it. You can even fast travel it too. Excuse me. Oh yeah, here it is. No, it directly pinpoints you to which domain has it. So yeah, once again, all you have to do is go to the character page, artifacts, recommendations, R3, scroll down until you highlight domain of blessing, and then it just pinpoints which domain has it. Oh yeah, speaking of recommendations, ZZZ's latest update now shows you which character, which W engine is recommended for specific characters. Yeah, I know, pretty weird. The enemy's level. There's still a work around that. I know it's a grind. There's no doubt about that. But it is possible. You just need to, once again, you just need to consider, the team setup that you have. You have to consider, then you have to consider what artifact works for which character. However, sometimes you don't really have to. I mean, just look at my Shinobu. I'm not even equipping her with the recommended set whatsoever. I even look at what main stats people are suggesting, and I'm like, yeah, nah. I just want her to be a fighter, not a healer. Or she can still heal, but I just want her to fight. Same thing with Kirara. Kirara, the idea is to build her with just HP because she has a shield. Her shield is scaled based on how much HP she has. Higher HP means durable shield, but I'm like, nah, screw that. I want to make her the Dendro sword user. And hey, it's working. Well, yeah, that's because I forced it to make it work by assigning her to specific teams. Or, I don't know, I just do it for fun. And yes, I know. Sometimes I can see with my own eyes and fight a world boss and be like, this isn't working, but I'm still doing damage. It's copium, pretty much. But yes, I know. Enemies. Friggin' 9800. But is it doable? Where my characters are only level 90? Yes, of course. It just takes a while. Also, you have to consider elemental reactions, as that is the key idea to a successful combat. Just takes a lot of time, though, to level up. But of course, yeah, you also have to consider about enemy resistance and weaknesses, especially what they are resistant to. Like, of course, you don't want to fight an enemy that's bring a pyro character up against a enemy that has pyro immunity. At that point, you pretty much know you have to switch it up. Especially like those cube world bosses, you know, those ones in everywhere pretty much. Like, you're not gonna fight the Anemo cube thing with Anemo characters. Or Electro against Electro, obviously, no. Ah, right, summer's over. Well, it was fun while it lasted. So yeah. And of course, if you feel like you're struggling, don't worry. Make sure you have a healer on the team, like Barbara. She'll cheer you on. She'll heal you. Or if you have friends that are somehow 2 steps ahead of you, you can always ask them to do some co-op. But once again, you can't do story quests in co-op. The only thing you can do in co-op, though, like effectively, is taking on world bosses. So where you know how whatchamacallit, some characters, they have like these kind of materials where you can only obtain them from world bosses. At least you and your co-op buddies can take on those world bosses together. And yeah, trust me, if you've seen like some YouTube videos out there, yeah, some people have done some interesting co-op play. But keep in mind, when you are doing co-op, the damage does scale. However, unless you're level 70, let's say, and your co-op buddy is level 90, then I mean the damage still scales down, but of course your co-op buddy who's at level 90 will probably dish out more damage than you. In other words, that person will most likely carry you. But at the very least, hey, at least you're making progress, you and your team, your co-op buddy. Oh, but whatever you do, make sure they don't steal your stuff. any what do you call those? Yeah, local specialty items, the ones that don't respawn the next day, but actually have like a 2-day cooldown respawn. Yeah, make sure they don't come into your world and start snagging all those. Because, yeah, these are the kind of items that you need to have characters ascend. And I guess the same thing goes for enemies, right? Or maybe not. I wouldn't be surprised if you could also solve puzzles together. Like the ones where you can just solve a quick puzzle and open a chest. But hey, at least it will make combat a little more smoother. like someone who got to be it gets to be the meat shield, or I mean, not the meat shield, the one that distracts the enemy. And then you have someone like me that's just, you know, healing the team as best I can. What else?
관심 있는 주제 있어?
Oh, you got some interesting.
그러고 보니 이쪽 협곡에도 반짝이는 보석 모처럼의 기회니까 우리도 한번 파보자. 운 좋게 엄청 대단한 보석을 발견하면 평생 모라 걱정 없이 살 수 있어. 아, 그러니까 반짝이면 다 보물이지 뭐. 응, 분명 그래. 기왕 나타에 왔으니까 악용이 아니라 현명한 용이라고 불러줘. 용감하고 슬기로운 여행자여. 현명한 이 몸이 엄청나게 대단한 보석을 찾을 수 있도록 인도해주겠다.
Paimon, I'm pretty much tight on Mora, and it's not because of the food that you consume. It's the character ascensions. They're taking it all.
써야 할 보고서가 몇 편 남았더라?
And considering I got 2 new characters on the way, my Mora is gonna be dried up.
안 돼.
Once upon a time, I had like
휴가를 온 의미가 없잖아.
so much Mora. Now it's about to be drained. It's about to be gone.
언제 돌아오셨어요? 하고 싶은 거요? 하고 싶은 건 엄청 많죠. 잠을 푹 자고 싶고 이 아름다운 곳을 다 둘러보고 싶고 하고 싶은 게 너무 많아요.
Oh yeah. One thing that's gonna be added as a permanent thing. If you remember in one of the recent events where you get to have a chit chat with a bunch of characters in each region, if you missed out on collecting notes from them, well, now it's coming back, but it's going to be a permanent mode. A permanent, not mode. It's going to be a permanent feature. So, all in all, those characters, 4-star, 5-star characters, will now appear on the world map. I want to say it's a big deal. I mean, it kind of is, because if you kind of think about it, you don't, in Genshin, you never really get to see those characters outside of just being in your party, or they're just there for the part of the story quest, right? Whereas in ZZZ, you do see those characters, you know, just standing around in the open world, right? And you get to like have a chit chat, interact with them. ZZZ allows you to do that. Heck, Honkai even does that too. But Genshin, for the past 5 years, those characters never, you know, be where they should be. Like, you know, like for example, you would find Jean sitting at her office working, right? But as of now, she's never there because there's no story, nothing. So now with the new, returning feature now being permanent, it's like every now and then you'll come across those characters, which adds more, I want to say, atmosphere to the open world. So if you ever come across them, you can have a nice chit chat with them. Now, say if you want a specific character to appear because you want to collect character notes or whatever they're called, then you can actually invite them. So, in other words, Genshin saw what ZZZ was doing and be like, I'll copy your homework, but I'm going to change it a little bit.
하지만 지금 여기서 가장 하고 싶은 건 아무것도 안 하는 것이에요. 당신은 저에게 정말 잘해주고 있어요. 환경도 무척 편하죠. 불만이 있는 건 절대 아니니 오해하지 말아주세요. 아, 네. 감사해요. 아시다시피 전 평소에 자신이 없어서 매사에 초조와 불안을 느껴요. 스트레스도 많이 받고 고민도 정말 많죠. 노력이 부족한 게 아닌지 걱정이고 미래가 어떻게 될지 걱정도 되고 학업이든 일상생활이든 자신 없는 부분이 너무 많아요. 항상 중요한 무언가를 놓칠까봐 두렵고 놓치면 나중에 분명히
It's okay, Layla.
후회하겠죠.
The other Layla inside of you is watching
이런
over you.
삶은 정말 힘든 것 같아요. 그걸 눈치채셔서 휴가를 내고 푹 쉬라는 조언을 해주신 거죠? 저 좀 똑똑하죠?
And don't worry, Layla. Your future is with me.
그래서 전 호의를 받아들여 푹 쉬려고 해요. 푹 쉬겠다는 결정을 내렸으니 아무것도 안 하고 아무 걱정도 안 하기로 했죠. 좋아요. 그럼 같이 여유롭게 멍 때리자고요.
And this is why she's best character for me. Anyways, what else? So they're bringing that back. We have a level 100 cap ridiculousness. And anything else I need to remember by? I'm pretty sure there's something else. Oh right, forgot. In one of the events, one of the upcoming events for the new update. I don't recall if it's gonna be permanent or not, but I'm gonna assume it might be. They're going to give players a chance to get a Stella Fortuna. And I think you just have to do day by day progress, some sort of progress that you'll just do generally. Like it's like unskippable, I think. And when you build up enough points or whatever, I don't know what you call that. Basically, the reward is you get to choose a 5-star character of your choice, kind of, which allows pretty much people to pick out any 5-star they have yet to obtain, or for me, if I want to get Jean to level 95, I would choose oh right, sorry. That's one thing, yeah. So yeah, like I said, there's some sort of like build up chart that you have to fill up. But beforehand, they do let you choose the final reward, which is, again, the free 5-star character. So the choice is yours, whether you want to get a 5-star character that you have yet to obtain, or get a duplicate, or, in my case, if I chose Jean beforehand, then, yeah, I would get a duplicate Jean just so she can be at 95. But yeah, once again, in a simpler wording, it's another case of here's a 5-star character of your choice. Kind of like, but you have to kind of work for it. At least the work isn't too hard or anything or complex. Although, I feel like it should have just been, here's a 5-star, here we go. Similar to how, just like how they did it with ZZZ. If you remember ZZZ's anniversary, They were like, hey, yeah, you get to choose a S rank agent of your choice. And while you're at it, you get to choose an S rank W engine of your choice. Why doesn't Genshin Team ever do that as well? I don't know, beats me. And look, even the Honkai team has something similar of that style. But not as generous compared to how ZZZ did their anniversary. How will Genshin fare? We'll find out at the end of the month. Genshin at on September 30th, Genshin will be 5 years old. But I'm already expecting Hoyoverse to give us yet another shallow reward. But I would love to be proven wrong, but that is yet to be seen until the day comes. Scared of fish! Oh, they don't disappear. I was expecting they would disappear. Alright. What time is it now? Oh, 10. Okay. Then I should call it a night. Literally, because it's nighttime. And by the time I'm finished streaming, I'm gonna be knocked out and lay on my bed. All the yapping and all the conspiracy I had to lash out over that level 100 cap thing. Yeah. Those are the causes of me just about to be knocked out. But hey, it's good to, let it all out. It's what I've been saving in my mind mentally. Although, to be fair, the first time I had to double take on what that level 100 cap deal was, I was like, what? The Hoyoverse is just appealing to the whale players? Well, that doesn't sound fair. And yeah, no, really, you don't need to think hard on it. It really is just catering to whale players. Considering how much money they have spent just to get their Eula to C6, yeah, of course. It definitely would make the fight even, but I feel like considering all the one-shot footages I've been seeing, even to this day, what's the point of being level 100 when you've already got the best build and artifact? Going level 100, you're just gonna finish the Spiral Abyss in less than 5 seconds, I guess. It's not gonna feel rewarding, honestly. Maybe initially, when it's your first time, getting your character to level 100. But then think about it from the long-term point of view. The long-term effect. It's like, oh, okay, here we go again, Spiral Abyss. Oh, I finished it in less than 10 seconds. Oh, goody. As a video game, that's not fun. That's like killing a Dark Souls boss with only 2 swings in a modified Elden Ring or something. That's, again, where's the fun? Where's the challenge? And yes, I get that the point of the Spiral Abyss, in order to earn Primo Gems, you have to finish the floor fast. But still doesn't feel... It wouldn't still feel like a challenge at all. This is why, for me, I prefer my boss fights to be even and drag on. Until it comes to the point where I know it's dragging too long, then I'm like, okay, yeah, nope, I'm bringing in the hammer. That's why sometimes you don't often see me use like ults, supers, and video games. It's like an anime shonen character holding back just to allow their enemies to get stronger. But then when shit goes down, then it's like, okay, I'm not holding any more punches. Why are these scarecrows so huge? I thought they were small. Oh, wait, hang on a second. It's facing this way. Hey, man, I couldn't tell. Turn. This way. There we go. That's much better. I'm guessing a second player can sit next to you. It's too bad you can't command other characters in the Serenity Pot to do a pose or have them sit next to you. If that were a thing, I would drag Layla and have her sit next to me. And then take a screenshot while I'm at it. Why is it so foggy? Is it the morning fog? Anyways, let's see. So yeah, Genshin update is tomorrow. By now, I'm sure the update has already been preloaded. Mine was done preloading this morning. Excuse me. All that remains is the maintenance hours. So as usual, the maintenance starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and should take approximately 5 hours. So the game servers will be back up by 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget to check your inboxes so that you can earn your compensation for a total of 600 Primo Gems. And yeah, we'll be entering 6.0 and I am ready. Oh, but for the new characters, there's only like one item that you can grind for, which is just the weekly bosses of the ones that you can get up to the latest. But everything else, all the other types of ascension materials, talent materials for the new characters, yeah, you're not going to find them as of now, so there's no point in grinding. Because it's all in the new area, the new region. And this also means, new region also means Oculuses. I'm assuming Cryo Oculuses. And I am ready to collect 100 of them. And if I can't find the rest, well, at least there will be one of those 1-hour YouTube video guides that will show you every single location. Or at least every location up to the current update version of the game. Which is still a lot, by the way, because, jeez, 1-hour video. At least if it's a YouTube video that has timestamps, then that's good. But it's really amazing how people on YouTube could, you know, they record themselves exploring the new region, and imagine all the editing they have to go through just to make that guide video. It's crazy. The dedication that they have. What else? And then we have the, I mean, we don't have the exact date, but yeah, Sega said there's going to be a free demo of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds in mid-September. Let me see. Maybe they do have a date. I'll just check real quick. Oh, my eyelids are already drooping. Let's see. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds demo. Free demo coming mid-September. More info coming soon. Where's... They're calling it a free... they're calling it a single-player demo. Well, if it is single-player, I guess that kind of makes sense after the online stress test. They want to now get players to get the feel of the single-player experience, I guess. No. It looks like all the other sources don't even have the exact date. I mean, yeah, that's why Sega said more info coming soon, so... Offline single-player experience only. Oh, that's fine. At least we don't have to wait too long by the time the game comes out. No, it looks like there's no release date yet. So, I mean, for the demo. Well, mid-September is all the info they gave us in terms of time, a release window for that. So I'm guessing next week. Yeah, because that's mid-September. What other news? A VTuber doesn't know what an Xbox is? Well, can you blame them? Microsoft Japan doesn't really do a fair job on marketing the console. Oh yes, in case you haven't noticed, or if you haven't checked yet, your YouTube setting might have automatically turned on the restricted mode. So if you haven't changed that, turned that off, yeah, do that right now, I guess. Or if it hasn't affected you, at least check it in case. Yeah, I had to check mine as soon as I saw like a bunch of people pointing that out, and I was like, really? Restricted mode again? YouTube added again? Well, I got nothing on YouTube. Let's see. How about the cursed world of Twitter? No. Nothing. Oh, I should have expected more. It is Monday. Not that many news. Well, instead of news, it's just, I guess in Genshin fans' case, it's just more anticipation. Excuse me. Okay. Says here on the official Xbox Twitter, mark your calendars for September 25th because the Xbox Tokyo Game Show is back. Eh? September 25th. I thought it was October. Well, Microsoft better do a damn good job. Showcase anything they have for Japan aside of Resident Evil. But, you know, aside of third parties, I think Microsoft should be promoting on their first parties. I mean, how else are they supposed to advertise, get people in Japan to buy their Xboxes? Even if you told a Japanese consumer, get Xbox so you can play Killer Instinct, I guarantee you they'll be like, what's a Killer Instinct? Not to say that KI is unknown to Japan, no. I'm pretty sure it is released there. But, you know, when it comes to fighting games today, I'm pretty sure they'll just be scratching their heads, be like, huh? What's a KI? I only know Street Fighter. No. Alright, no. I got nothing. Nothing else to share. Wait, what is this? The legendary Hayabusa bundle takes its place in the exchange with hashtag Operation Warpath tomorrow, September 9 through October 7 for a final time. They're going to be selling the Hayabusa armor set in Halo Infinite with a microtransaction price tag. They should have just brought it back to the exchange for Spartan points instead. Oh well. At least we will play as the ninja in Ninja Gaiden 4 that comes out in October, and I completely forgot that game comes out. There's already way too many games. At first it was going to be Silent Hill F, but now it's like, oh wait, Sonic Cross World is coming. I mean Sonic Racing Cross World. And then this, what did I just say? Ninja Gaiden in October. Well, yeah, no pressure. There is no such thing as, I mean, unless you're a billionaire, you don't need to buy all of them at once. And considering the price tags for games are to these days, yeah. Yeah, it's like you might as well just buy one game per month. But it has to be a game that you know you're going to spend hundreds of hours playing. Which is an easy choice, really. Silent Hill F or Sonic Racing. Sonic Racing, of course. And it's not about replayability, because I'm pretty sure Silent Hill F has replay. But at the very least, I got hands-on with Sonic. Silent Hill F? Oh, sorry, but I couldn't go to Gamescom. It's all the way up in Germany. Is Konami going to, drop a demo? Yeah, I doubt it. And then for Ninja Gaiden, well, while there is no demo hands-on demo, which I'm surprised because Team Ninja tends to love to shower their players with demos and, be like, you can transfer your save data to the full game. But I guess Ninja Gaiden is a different case. I just hope it's good. It's been decades since Ninja Gaiden 3, and all Koei Tecmo has been doing for the ninja was putting him into other games, at least in a playable format. Mostly in a lot of Warriors games, but hey, at least those were still good. Oh, and of course, yeah, if you like your classic Ninja Gaidens, there is Ragebound. And I still highly recommend you get that. Along with Silk Song. Oh yeah, and of course, Sega's Shinobi as well. I don't think I ever talked about that because I did get hands-on with the downloadable demo. And yeah, and it's a I want to say a fresh take because at the time I was trying out Shinobi and then I bought Ninja Gaiden, so it was like one ninja game after another back to back, and I felt like, yeah, this year is truly the year of the ninja, even though they are two different games. But if you like ninja games, or actually, in my opinion, I'd say, yeah, no, go for that too. Go get Shinobi if you want, if you can. It's a great game, and I guarantee you will enjoy it because, yeah, try the demo yourself. It's challenging, it's fun, the art style is really gorgeous, and it's good that Sega, remembers their old classic IPs. Just waiting for the other ones to come out as well. Especially Golden Axe. And we did see Crazy Taxi, but no updates as of now regarding that. Anything else? No, I think that's it. All right. Yeah, sleep quality. Yeah, I know. I need that too, Layla. Both you and I. My dear lovebird. So yeah, tomorrow. If I have time tomorrow, then maybe I'll stream tomorrow evening. But since Genshin will be in maintenance that time, yeah, can't. Unless I stream at the same time like today, and then it becomes 11 p.m. No. I doubt I can do that. Nah. I wish I could, but nah. But to savor the moment, I should probably not pull the gotcha. I don't know. I'm finding like less purpose of doing gotchas. And I'll explain my reason for that later. Like pulling a gotcha on live on stream. I get the excitement, but then I'm like, eh. But yeah, I'll explain why. Just a personal opinion. Another time though, another time. She's just so adorable, staring into my soul. Okay, I said enough. Alright, so with that, I will then see you guys in the next live stream. You folks have a good day and a good night. See you, folks.